This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. The Bully's Savage Throne by Amaya Vex. 1. Dina. The final note of the solo hung in the air, a low, resonant hum that vibrated from the strings of my bass, through the wood, and into my bones. My fingers ached with a satisfying burn. The complex run was clean. Perfect. For a moment, the only sound in our cramped rehearsal space was the faint buzz of the amplifiers. Liam dropped his drumsticks. They clattered against the snare. Jesus, Dina! How do you even do that? I let the note fade completely before answering, my gaze fixed on the fretboard. It's just muscle memory. It's not just muscle memory, Maya said from the other side of the room. She pushed a strand of red hair from her face, her expression a familiar mix of awe and frustration. It's a goddamn magic trick. You're sure you didn't sell your soul for that? A small smile touched my lips, but I kept my focus on my instrument, loosening the tension on the strings. If I did, I would have asked for a better practice space. Our corner of the university's music department basement smelled like damp concrete and old dust. It was ours, but it was far from glamorous. Liam shook his head, running a hand through his messy brown hair. I'm serious. The time signature on that bridge is insane. I can barely keep up. Then practice more, I said. The words came out sharper than I intended. Maya shot me a look. A silent warning. I ignored it, setting my bass carefully in its stand. My hands felt steady, but a familiar irritation prickled under my skin. We'd been over this part for an hour. It's not just about practice, Liam argued, his voice defensive. It's about feeling it. It's supposed to be raw, angry. You play it like a machine. My jaw tightened. There it was, the usual critique, wrapped in a different package. Too perfect, too technical, not enough feel. As if technical perfection wasn't its own form of passion. The machine gets it right every time, I said, my voice dangerously quiet. Okay, Maya cut in, stepping between us like a seasoned referee. Let's call it a night. We're all getting tired and cranky. She offered me a peacemaking smile. That solo is going to melt faces at the showcase, Dina. Liam's just jealous he can't play it on his drums. Liam grumbled something under his breath but didn't argue further. He started breaking down his kit, the metallic sounds filling the tense silence. My anger slowly receded, leaving a familiar, hollow ache in its place. I didn't want to fight with them. They were the closest thing I had to a real team. I packed my gear methodically, coiling cables and latching my case with precise clicks. The ritual was calming. It was control. We're heading to the downbeat for a drink, Maya said, slinging her guitar case over her shoulder. You should come. My first instinct was to say no. The downbeat was the unofficial social club for the university's music elite. It was a place for networking and posturing, full of loud voices and egos. A place I usually avoided. But the thought of going back to my silent, empty apartment was suddenly less appealing. The walls felt like they were closing in lately. Fine, I said, surprising both Maya and myself. Just for one. The downbeat was exactly as I remembered. Dimly lit, crowded, and loud. The air was thick with the smell of spilled beer and cheap perfume. A low thrum of conversation and laughter echoed off the dark wood paneling. My skin prickled with 100 tiny points of awareness. I felt exposed, out of my element. We found a small, sticky table in a back corner. Maya and Liam fell into easy conversation with a couple of guys from another band. I nursed a glass.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.